Happy Giving Tuesday, y'all. This is Celeste Flores with the Giving Tuesday team. And I am lucky enough to be in conversation with these three incredible leaders who are leading movements in their respective communities. They do work year round, y'all, but they are organizations who are using the Giving Tuesday season with intention and using it as the megaphone of the day to engage communities to give. So whether it's a geographic campaign or whether it's an identity or a shared purpose campaign, this is all about bringing people together collectively using the common language of generosity to make change in their community and affect the work of local organizations. So each of these wonderful people represent different kinds of campaigns and ways that they are rallying people to give. But this is all about collective action, coming together as a community and giving to organizations that are changing our community. So each one is different. I'm going to let them get to their stories. And so first, let's do some introductions and talk about their campaign. So if you don't mind getting us started, Broc, tell us a little bit about what you're asking people to do, who you are, and the campaign you come from.
Sure. I'm Broc Carter, and I work for the Amarillo Area Foundation out of Amarillo, Texas. We have a campaign that's a 9-day giving campaign, and it starts the Monday before Thanksgiving and goes through Giving Tuesday. That's our crescendo is Giving Tuesday. Our goal is just to increase philanthropy in our 26 county area that we cover here in the Texas Panhandle. And our goal is always, as always, is to make sure that quality of life is improved in our communities. We have 214 participating organizations in our campaign this year, and we are right in the middle of it. And we are excited about Tuesday. It's always the best, most exciting day of the year for us, and so we're just excited to have that to be here today.
Thanks, Broc. Taisha, why don't you introduce yourself?
Yes, it's a pleasure to. Thanks, Celeste. Your energy is always on point. I am Taisha Ty Wilson. Everyone, I am honored to serve as the Director of Engagement at Philanthropy Together. And we are a 5-year initiative. We started in 2020 to basically democratize and to diversify philanthropy through the power of giving circles. And if you don't know what a giving circle is, real quick, a giving circle pretty much is a group of people with shared values that come together to make change, very similar to what we're doing in this space together, right? And so our campaign, our initiative, our mission is really to change the narrative of who it is to be a philanthropist, right? And so we train everyday folks like you and I to start giving circles and to really pull out the philanthropist in you. Giving circles are very, very unique models of giving because they allow us to pull not just our money, but our time, our talent, our treasure, our testimonies. We can pull all of those resources together, and specifically the treasure piece, we then collectively decide where that money goes. And that's very, very powerful because that collective shift, that decision-making for us to own and fund some local, amazing grassroots organizations, y'all, it's necessary for us to shift the resources. So if we can, shift who gets funded, how it gets funded, then we really can restore some power, y'all, and really get back to us, back to the people, back to the community, back to us where it belongs. And so I'm super excited. I get real excited when I talk about generosity, y'all, because we have next. It's us. We have the power to change our communities of what we want them to be, what we want to fund, but we have to do that together. And so I'm happy to lead that movement of giving circles, #giving circles.
All right, love it. And your energy as well, Taisha, is always a pleasure. I just realized there are 3 Texans on this call. Yeah. Well, I'm calling from DC. I'm originally from Texas, and I just noticed that we're saying y'all a whole lot. So, Amanda, I apologize, but please introduce yourself.
You're all good. Thank you, Celeste. I'm loving the energy we have today. Hi, everyone. I'm Amanda Liaw. I'm the Communications and Marketing Coordinator at the Catalog for Philanthropy. I want to echo the excitement about generosity that everybody has shared already. The Catalog hosts Give Local Together, which is the official Giving Tuesday campaign for more than 200 small nonprofits across the greater Washington region. And today, we're asking the DC community to support local. So we've partnered with 10 small businesses in the area to organize our inaugural gratitude crawl, which ends today. And we're encouraging everyone to join us in eating, drinking, shopping, and giving to both small local businesses and to the grassroots nonprofits that work to strengthen our region every day.
I am so grateful for that, to bring in the whole small business part of it, because, and I know Broc does it too over at the Panhandle. There's just so many stakeholders that can be a part of something like this. So Amanda, while I have you on the hot seat anyway, let me ask you the first question about the catalog's Giving Tuesday campaign. One of the things that you focus on specifically are grassroots, small, medium-sized organizations, usually led by BIPOC individuals or organizations that are usually don't have access to traditional funding, and hold this day and hold this space for them. So tell me a little bit about why it's important to know about these organizations, and also why it's important to fund this particular community with the funds that the funds that you're raising through the campaign.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to start by saying, we're celebrating 20 years of supporting small nonprofits specifically here at the Catalog. And what we're leading right now into the next 2 decades is this idea that the future is local. So the organizations in our network are chosen by the people who live and work here for the critical impact that they make on our communities. And for us, it's definitely about equity of access, right? Like, we've seen so many great examples of grassroots operations that are actually creating change here in DC, and they're led by the people who are most impacted by systemic discrimination, but often they don't have the budgets or the staff capacity or the relationships, like you said, Celeste, with funders and major donors that larger nonprofits and many traditionally white-led nonprofits have. So for them, like, building a strong community of supporters and advocates really makes a big difference. And at the same time, I will also say that what we've seen is that once people in the community get a chance to learn more about what our nonprofit partners are doing, they're interested and they want to get involved. So one of the biggest challenges that small nonprofits face, especially on a day like Giving Tuesday, is just visibility. Like, unless folks are coming into Giving Tuesday with a very intentional plan of who they want to support, it can be tough to find which nonprofits are in your neighborhood that are working on something that personally matters to you. So that's why this year, for our community campaign, our givelocaltogether.org website gives you the chance to search for nonprofits by issue area, by location, by organization size, and for BIPOC-led nonprofits. And if you want to get hyper-local, which we love, we've also mapped every single nonprofit on an interactive map so that you can see the ones that are closest to you and to support them. And this year, we've also put together a social impact holiday gift guide. So those categories I found can be helpful when considering what you may want to support, but also what someone else may want to care about. For example, like, if you've been inspired by a mentor in your life, you can consider donating to small organizations that facilitate mentorships for other people. Or if you love to cook, maybe you can support nonprofits that work on food justice and food access in communities that really need that. So we're really hoping that today, everybody joins us in kind of either taking your first or your next step in being part of a local movement of generosity and giving back to your community where you live.
Oh, I love that. Yes, I hear all of that, and I didn't know about the interactive map. That's cool. But yeah, let's keep on this notion of local giving and also engagement of donors. I'm going to throw this next question to you, Broc. You've been doing this for a long time. I've been doing this for a long time. And every year it is different. But with the donor community who are looking to give monetary donations, Amanda talked about it a little bit about it. Could be overwhelming, or if you already know who you are passionate about, you can come into a day like this and give. However, there are a lot during a day like Giving Tuesday, or these shared giving moments. We have new people. We have people who have maybe never given before. But so days like Giving Tuesday, days like Panhandle Gives, or campaign days, these shared giving moments work for a community. They raise money, and they also give a really easy way to give money. But let's talk a little bit about this shared platform. Panhandle Gives is lifting all boats. Days like this and these shared platforms there where you have hundreds of organizations is about lifting all boats. So tell me a little bit about, through your lens with Panhandle Gives, the relationship between the giver and the recipient organization, why these shared platforms work, and specifically, then how are we lifting all boats? We have small organizations, big organizations, but they all participate on this day. So I'm going to throw that to you. That was probably 4 questions in there.
So first of all, you have to understand the landscape of the Texas Panhandle is a very, very rural situation. And so you've got very, very small communities where often there are organizations that are they are very hyper local focused. They understand the needs in their community at a very unique level. And so what we're seeing happen for us is those small communities are coming together or banding together to meet the needs in their community. And that's what philanthropy does. And that's what I love about what we're seeing is it doesn't matter what you believe politically or what you think about these things. Philanthropy brings us all together in all on the same playing field. And it can bring people from across all different playing fields to make sure that the cause is taken care of in their community. We had a community during our campaign this year have a community-wide pancake breakfast. All 7 of the organizations that are participating came. They had breakfast, they had pancakes with the local football team, and they sold tickets. And that is philanthropy working in the community to bring people together around an idea that our community can be better. And that's what I think our donors are excited. That's what I think donors are excited about is our neighbors. And I consider everyone in our area my neighbor. I mean, of course, the neighbor across the street is technically a neighbor, but also I think because we're so interconnected, and I think donors see that we're interconnected, and what happens in little communities just north of Amarillo and what happens in Amarillo to those little communities north and south of Amarillo, it's all interconnected. And so the donor really has a way of making sure that their community looks better. It is stronger, it is strengthened, and the most vulnerable folks that live in those communities are getting the things that they need. And that's what I love about our campaign is that all participating organizations pledge that their dollars will stay in our area. They will continue to help in our area. And I think that is a very comforting thing for a donor to know that when they give, they're going to see the people who are benefited by those dollars at their grocery store when they're buying their groceries. And that, to me, is really the kind of the magic of what we do here at the Panhandle Gives is really we just created a platform. We've said there's very large organizations that participate. There's very small organizations that participate, but what we've done is kind of given them the tent pegs, and they get to build the tent however they want to, whatever it looks like. We don't police the logo. They can do the most creative things, and they have done the most creative things to raise funds. And that is, I think that's just a testament of being a part of the Giving Tuesday community, because that's really what you guys do is just say, here's the day, build on it what you will. And we kind of have followed that in our campaign as well. And we think that donors recognize that. And we feel like organizations, we hear all the time, we're just glad that you let us do it this way. And we also have organizations call and say, is this okay to do? And we're like, yeah, do it. Go out and make the best that you can do. Raise as many dollars as you can, get as many volunteers as you can, get the sky's the limit for you. We're giving you some tools. Use them if you want them to. Don't use them if you don't want to. But here's the deal. When we all work together, our community is strengthened, and that's kind of what our hope and goal is.
I love that notion, working together, collective action. And collective action is exactly what a giving circle is. And and coming together. And I love that about it's the notion of not competition, but collaboration, Broc, that you were saying, with organizations in a sector that people think is could be competitive, and it's not. It's about coming together and rising all boats. So thank you for that. But let's talk more about this collective action. Taisha, days like Giving Tuesday and Giving Circles are all about democratizing giving, power of giving to the people and giving with others, all for the purpose of building this community, this world that we imagine is possible. But what do you and maybe what Philanthropy Together and all the Giving Circles believe is possible when people take collective action? How will this change inequities? How will this change systems? How will this change processes when we come together?
What a great question, Celeste. Oh, I got to unpack that. But first, I think
that was a big one.
In order for us to even just talk about, we got to talk about the stats, y'all. So the inequities in philanthropy, there is only about 8% of all philanthropic funds that go to support communities of color. Only 1.9% go to issues supporting women and girls. Less than a third of 8% to LGBTQ plus IA causes. And so that in itself is some stats that we have to disrupt. And Giving Circles really, really are doing that. As I shared, this collective, the model of giving is very inclusive, and it brings in a diverse group of voices together to be the decision makers on how funding is allocated out. And so for many, many Giving Circles, a lot of them support very small, grassroots, hyper-local organizations that's already doing the work. They really are. And so I think to the question of like what we want to see and what the power that we hold by doing this together is we can address those inequities. We really can if we pull our resources together. And I think that, very similar to Giving Tuesday, Celeste, you all really are building a world a day. Today is a day for us to really raise awareness and visibility to support some of the grassroots organizations that Giving Circles support. I shared with you all that a lot of Giving Circles, they have a very democratic process with how they vet and how they fund the organization. So I truly do believe that we can start there. In order for us to really to create the change that we're all hoping and wish to see, we have to start hyper local, y'all. We really can stand in a solidarity spirit with one another by leveraging the work that some Giving Circles are already doing. They've already found some organizations and already have identified a lot of the smaller organizations to support. So go connect, follow your local Giving Circle, find that Giving Circle and take a look to see some of the grantees and the organizations that they are supporting, and support them as well. This is a day for us really to have some fun and to bring some visibility and awareness to these amazing organizations that are doing the work. And when we do that, when we really come together, we really are creating a more equitable, a more kinder, a more just, a more diverse, loving, unified world that we all wish to see. We don't have to wait for the future. That can really start right now by us taking action today, by supporting those organizations, by circling up, by advocating for a grassroots nonprofit organization, sharing their story. And I will just say that we really are, y'all, at a very critical moment in terms of our democracy here throughout the U.S. All of us, you see communities that are kind of separating and folks red, blue, whatever the case is. But philanthropy, like Broc said, really brings us together. We really can, y'all, make our future, the future world, all the equitable, more just world that we wish to see tomorrow, today. We can make that happen through our collective action. And so I just think now is the time, y'all, for us really to lean into the spirit of generosity. Today is the day for us to do that. And we can start by really circling up and leveraging and sharing the work of some of the organizations that Giving Circles are supporting. That was a very long way of saying take action in circle.
I know. I was like,
today we don't have to wait. A lot of times people think like, "Oh, what's the future? What's the future?" Y'all, it's the future is today. It's us doing the work and figuring things out today together. That's it. The change starts with us, and we don't have to wait. Today is the day.
So the message here is don't wait, y'all.
Don't
Do
wait,
it.
y'all.
And it is hyper local, y'all. So get to it. You guys, this is more than I could have ever imagined at talking with you all today and talking about the true ability of all of us coming together and doing something special and doing something impactful and doing something important and that would really change our communities and our world. I cannot wait to hear how everything goes at the end of all of this. It's going to be amazing. But please know in your heart and in your head how you are doing the work and how appreciated it is, because you guys have decided to make your life's work about your community. And that is not an easy thing to do. And so I applaud you. I thank you. I can't wait to hear more from you. But until then, it's about local, y'all. Get to it. Do something today. Future is today. So have a great, great Giving Tuesday. And goodbye.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.